Hello everybody. In this video tutorial we're going to be talking about variables in Scratch and Python. Variables are very important, and understanding variables is kind of understanding of the basic concepts of programming languages. Variables exist in any programming languages, so we really need to understand what variables are. Basically, a variable in Scratch is a changeable value recorded in Scratch's memory, and a variable in Python is a changeable value recorded in Python's memory, and a variable in a C++ is a changeable value recorded in C++ memory. A variable is a container that holds a value, and variables can only hold one value at a time, and these values can be changed anytime, and that's why they're called variables. Okay, let's look at how this is done in Scratch. And the next step will be to click on create, and you just close the tutorial. Okay, variables in Scratch can be found under the variables tag here. And you've already got one variable which I'm going to delete, okay? So it will be right click and delete. And now let's talk science a little bit, all right? So first of all, we need to declare a variable. And in Scratch, it's called make a variable. So make or declare a variable. Let's do this. Let's declare a variable. In this window, you can see that you can declare a variable with the scope of this sprite only or for all sprites. I recommend just leaving this like that, okay? So you can use this variable with any sprite that you create in the future. Let's call this variable age. And I'm going to declare, create, make, call it wherever you like, another variable. I'll call it name. We've got two variables. We have declared two variables. Now we need to set values to these variables. We need to assign values, okay? In Scratch it's quite easy. So let's set age to 45, for example. So first of all, if you want your variables to work, so you will need to drag them into the programming code area, right? And here you just click on copy, duplicate. So right click, duplicate, and then we can choose name. Now look what we've got. We've got two variables, age and name. And these variables, they don't only have different names, there are actually different data types. And age is integer, and name is a string. Okay, so that's a numeric value and this is a text value, so they will be different types, and we'll talk about variable types later. If you don't want your variables to be shown here, you just need to unclick these things, unclick these boxes, and now I'm going to show you what you can do with variables. So what we have already done, we have declared variables and we set values to variables. If we want our variables to be shown in the main screen, we need to print them. In Scratch you use this block, show variable. So show variable age and show variable name. So if you double click on this block here, the system will print the variables in the main screen. But what if you don't want to double click on the block every time? You go to events and you can choose any of the triggers here. Let's choose the green flag, alright? Okay, so every time you click on the green flag, the system will set the value of the variable age to 45. Then the system will set the value of the variable name to Pavel, and the system will print or show variable age, and the system will print or show the variable name. If you want to get rid of these variables, what do you think you can do? Let's say that you want your variables disappear when you click the space button. From the events menu, you grab this block when space key pressed, and you go back to variables, and then you need to hide them. right? Hide variable age and hide variable name. So now look what you can see. So I'm going to click the space button. You see, they disappeared. When I click on green flag here, the variables appear. As I said before, variables are just containers that hold any value that you assign to the containers. Alright, how to change variables? Let's click on events. Let's say you want to change your variable when the up arrow key is pressed. You want your age variable to increase by 1 every time you click on the up arrow key. You go to the variables menu and then that's it. So look what is going to happen. I'm going to click on the up arrow key and you can see that this age variable it goes up. If you want to change the age variable by -1 or -2 every time you click the down arrow, all I have to do is replace 1 by -1. And now let's see what happens. So I'm going to click the up arrow key. Now I'm going to click the down arrow key. And now I'm going to click the space key. And now I'm going to click the green flag. And now we're going to see how this works in Python. You declare and you set the value for a variable at the same time. As you can see here, we have declared a variable for x, and the variable type for x is integer, and we set it to 5. And then we declared a variable for y. We created a variable and assigned a value to this variable at the same time. So we created the x variable and assigned a value of 5. The x variable is an integer, and we declared a variable and we declared the y variable and we assigned a value to this variable at the same time. The type of the variable is a string. And then we ask the system to print the value of the x variable and print the value of the y variable. You see that? So now I'm going to change the value of the x variable to 24 and the value of the y variable to Peter, and run. You can assign values to multiple variables at the same time. In this example, we have assigned 3 values to 3 variables, and if I run this, you can see that you can assign multiple values to multiple variables. Let's have a look at this example. So x equals 5, y equals 7, and then print x plus y. So Python can do math for you. You see, the answer is 12. And we can continue the code. For example, we can assign a different value to the x and y variables. As you may have already guessed, I'm going to ask Python to multiply the x with the y and print the result. So this is how it works. Let's have a look at another example, right? Let's declare a variable. And we need to assign value to this. Don't forget to use the quotation marks for string values. Example Pavel, and the other variable will be age. Remember what we did in Scratch. We declared a couple of variables and we assigned values. And now print age and print name. You see that the program reads the code from the top to the bottom. So first it assigns the value for the variable x, then it assigns the value for the variable y. So first it assigns value to the first variable, then it assigns value to the second variable, then it prints the sum, then it changes values, then it declares and assigns value to variable name and does the same to the variable age, and then the system prints the age and the name. And you don't necessarily need to limit yourself with only printing values of your variables. No, you can combine text and a variable. You see in this example, the system prints my name is Pavel. But if you change this variable's value to Peter, you will see that the system will print out, hi, my name is Peter. And what I want to do now, I want the system to print like, my name is Peter and I'm 45 years old. So I'm going to slightly change this here. See, we'll need plus sign and we'll need the quotation marks. And I am, first of all, let's see what the system is going to do with what we've got. And now we need to add a variable here, the name of the variable. Do you think the system is going to print 45? No, because the age variable is integer and the name variable is string. We need to change the type, right?